Hey everyone, thanks for learning to play games. My name is Lance, and in today's video I'm going to look at a brand new game coming to Kickstarter called Legends of Shenzhou. This is a new one from Z-McFive Games. It is a 2 to 6 player game that takes roughly 90 to 3 hours to play, and is a competitive game where players are going to be competing with their fellow players, building up their characters throughout the game as they make their way around the board, improving their different stats, and getting all kinds of cool gear, including awesome weapons, massive shields, and really cool mounts that you can mount and get you around the board faster. Throughout the game, the goal is to bring down the boss, and there are 3 levels of bosses, so depending upon the length of the game you're looking for, you can choose whether you're going to go after the easy, medium, or hard boss. And whoever is able to accomplish that first is going to be the winner of the game. So in this video, I'm going to go through some of the main features of this game and also show you a sample turn to give you a better idea how this one plays to help you decide on whether or not this is one you want to back on Kickstarter. As always, if you find my videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we can continue to grow, be able to produce this content. If you want to get notified anytime I drop new videos, hit that notification bell and I'll let you know whenever I drop new stuff. I do also want to point out that all the materials you're going to see here are prototype materials, are subject to change, and look a lot better in the final production copy of the game. So let's go ahead and head to the table and we'll see what this one's all about. I want to start by going over the hero dashboard. So at the beginning of the game, each player is going to receive a hero dashboard and will choose a hero that player wants to use to represent them. Each hero is going to have a crystal in the top corner for one of the colors from the region that hero is from, and will gain some bonuses and abilities depending upon certain situations throughout the game. In the middle of the card are the different stats for that hero, and each hero has 4 stats that are going to correspond with the different colors: strength, courage, intelligence, and perception. And each hero will start with a certain number of those. Now, throughout the game, as you go to different spaces and do different things, you'll be able to bump those up, improving that hero's stats. Then each hero is going to have a special ability that is going to be listed at the bottom of the card, along with some important stats for combat. And like I said, there are tons of heroes included in the game, and here are just a few of those heroes. And each one of them has their own stats and abilities that are going to be able to do all kinds of different things for them. From there, at the bottom of the board are slots for their different supplies, weapons, shields, and mounts, and there are tons of those included in the game as well. So for example, with supplies, you have things like poisoned wine, immunities, different potions, and portals, to name a few. Moving over to weapons, there are all kinds of different weapons that are going to have different levels and will grant different bonuses and will cost different amounts from the different merchants in that. And there are tons of those included, such as scepters and axes and all kinds of different swords that the characters can equip throughout the game. From there, then, the next thing is shields, which are going to obviously be used for defense, and there are all kinds of different shields included in the game, and will have different effects and requirements that the hero must meet in order to equip that, and that will apply to all of the different items that the hero has. And there are going to be a whole range of different shields included as well. The final thing are mounts, and there are of course all kinds of different mounts, including all kinds of different horses and dragons and all kinds of mythical creatures that the character will have. And this will provide the character with certain bonuses for movement throughout the game. On the edge of the board is going to be slots for tiles. As you complete different things, you will gain different tiles that'll give you bonuses to your move and range, evasion, and other stats. Now that we've gone over the different heroes that players are going to be playing as, what are the players going to be facing? So there are all kinds of different monsters that the players are going to face throughout the game, and these are going to be broken down into 3 different types of monsters. You're going to have the normal monster cards that are going to have the red background, and then you're going to have the advanced monsters that'll have the yellow circle, and then the bosses, which you're going to see next. So with the normal and advanced monsters, there are going to be a huge collection of them, and these are going to be broken down into 2 different types of monster encounters. You're going to have arena monsters that are going to have the different stats that monster has, and you'll battle that monster in the arena. And the monster is going to have different stats on the side as well. And then you're going to have judgment cards that are going to list the judgment, and you're going to roll a d6. And if you roll any of the numbers that are shown on there, then you have defeated the monster and will gain the victory conditions of that monster. And if you don't roll any of those numbers, then you fail and will take the penalty for that. And so you're going to have these in both of the decks, depending upon what your hero has equipped, and which will determine which deck to pull from. The final type of monster are bosses, and this is the overall end goal of the game. So depending upon the length of game that you have selected, you are going to have to beat one of these level bosses or multiple bosses, depending upon, again, the difficulty that you've selected. And each one of them is going to have all kinds of different conditions for beating them and their different stats when you challenge them and all of that. The final thing I want to do is take you through a sample turn to give you a better idea how this game plays. Alright, so getting into the game itself, this game is going to be played over an undefined number of turns, where you're going to start with that whichever player is the starting player, and that player is going to roll a d12 to determine that player's movement. From there, the board itself is going to dictate how that player can move with the white arrows. So what those mean is, on this first tile, you're always going to be moving towards the left. And so you can go down and then make your way over, but you can never go back. So if I was on this space, I could not drop back into a space on the right. Also, you're going to have the red lines that are also going to dictate paths and going to block off different paths. So once I choose a column to go down, I cannot deviate into another column because of the red lines. Now, each one of the tiles is going to work differently and will be outlined on that tile itself. So from there, let's go ahead and jump into this. And the other more important thing are, you're going to see all these different colors on these tiles. Those are important for the space that the player lands on. So with the colors that correspond to the player's abilities, that is going to improve that ability. So if I land on a red space, it's going to improve my strength by 1 value. And I'll mark that on my board. And that's going to be the same for yellow, blue, and green spaces. Now, purple spaces are going to be event spaces. You'll draw an event card and resolve the effects of that. And then you're going to have brown spaces, which are going to either be arena spaces, where you're going to have to challenge a monster from the monster deck, hopefully defeating it and gaining rewards for it, or you'll have other spaces such as the blacksmith shop or stables or the market, where you can go and purchase upgraded ability or cards such as weapons and shields and mounts and all kinds of other things that are going to help you along your way to defeating that boss or bosses, depending upon the mode you've selected for this mission. All right, so let's look at an example of how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and say that my player over here is going to be my starting player. So I'll roll the d12, and it comes up as a 5. So from there, I have to choose where I want to go. So I could come down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 there, going 1, 2, 3, 4, and moving into this next tile here, or I could shoot up and come over. There's all kinds of different choices for me. As a couple of my stats are already pretty working towards it, I might want to drop down 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, landing on that blue space. So I think that's what I'll do there, and I'll make my way over here. So when I'm on that space, I'm going to permanently increase my stat for that. So now I am a 4 in that space, or in that item. So then the other player will go, and I've got a 9. So I've got a little bit of a farther journey to make with this character. So with that being said, I could kick up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and land here on that space. Or I could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So still landing on that space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. Is there any other option besides that? Okay, so I could do 1, or I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and go to the blue space there. as well with both of us doing that. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the arena. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, how did that work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. All right, so when I'm on the arena, first off, depending upon if I have a weapon of a higher level or not, it's going to dictate which enemy I'm going to go after. With it being that I don't have a weapon, I'm going to start off with a red card enemy. And so I have a fish-tailed maiden, and so this one is a judgment. So there's two different types. You'll have judgment ones where you're going to have to roll a d6, and if you roll one of those numbers in there, then you have defeated that monster and will gain points for or money for it. Or there's the ones that are going to send you into the arena where an opponent to your left is going to control the monster and you're going to try to outwit and take the monster down. So this one is a judgment one, so I'm simply going to roll a d6 to determine if I defeat the monster. And I rolled a 3, which is one of the numbers listed, so I am victorious, and I will gain 1,000 yen for that. So I will add that to my stash, and that will complete my turn. So then this will be discarded, and we'll move on. And this is going to continue going round after round for the players. Let's go ahead and talk about combat real quick. So let's go ahead and say, for example, that during this player's turn, he landed on the same space as my character. So when that happens, you're going to enter into a duel where the players are going to combat their opponents. With that, you're going to draw, each player will draw 4 cards to start this off. And with that, that is going to dictate what the character can do. Whoop, wrong cards, I think. Or no, I think these are okay. All right, so each card is going to give you an ability or effect that is going to allow you to carry out certain things and is going to have different effects such as offense or defense that the players are going to work through. Now, you're allowed to play basically one offensive card and then other supporting cards throughout your turn. Once you have completed all that, then it is going to pass to the next player to go. With that, that player can choose to discard any cards in that player's hand and then redraw up to 4 cards and then take their turn. And this is going to continue going back and forth until one of the players has defeated the other player by reducing their health to 0. Well, I hope you found the video helpful in learning more about this game and whether or not this is one you want to back on Kickstarter. As always, if you have any questions or comments, post those in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them, or swing by the Kickstarter page and drop any questions you have there in the comment section. I'm sure the creators would love to hear from you and are more than happy to answer any questions you have. Until next time, I'll see you later.